Mama, I got bad news, bad news. I've been rolling with some bad dudes, bad dudes. I've been trying to get a bag too. I'm just doing what I have to. I said, Mama, I got bad news, bad moods every day. Brand new tattoos on my face, sad dude with a head full of rain. I just wanna make it rain, Mama, I will be okay. I feel like I might break right now. I feel like making a fucking mistake right now. Ew. I just need a cake right now. I blow out all the candles in my brains right now. Ew.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the third episode of the Dopey Canuck, a podcast dedicated to taking a humorous look at the very serious issues of drugs, recovery, addiction, and all the dumb shit in between. My name is Chuck LaFlange, and right off the bat I'd like to tell people, please know that I am not trying to glamorize the addiction lifestyle, nor am I trying to minimize the seriousness of what is very much a deadly and serious disease. Make no mistake, folks, addiction is a disease. My use of funny stories is an attempt to get your attention, and ultimately, though, it's to bring awareness to addiction. So if you are in active addiction right now, please make today the day that you reach out to somebody, be it a friend, a family, a meeting. Go to a detox, do whatever you need to do to start getting yourself better. Today could be the day that you start that lifelong journey of healing. So with the serious shit out of the way, let's get into today's story. You see Juiceboxes, I see crack. Alright, well this story takes place back when I am around 20, I guess. It's my first real good go around with crack addiction, and I'm at this point actually I'm getting very close to what will turn out to be my first rock bottom. My partner and I, we're going to call him the lawnmower due to a landscaping business he had back then. We're selling coke in order to supply our insatiable crack habit. So lawnmower and I are sitting around doing what we usually do, and that is to say smoking crack and figuring out ways to get money from more crack. And his phone goes off, and we're going to call the guy on the other end of the line Juicebox, and you'll see why in a second here. So Juicebox owns a giant bottle depot in the city, and it's a big one actually, and he is less than scrupulous, we'll say. And I don't know much about bottle depots still. Even then I knew even less, but what I was about to learn was that apparently there is some sort of bottle depot police, the commission of some sort, if you will. And somebody has tipped off the bottle depot police to Juicebox's unscrupulous activities. What he's been doing, I guess, is buying Tetra Paks, which is to say a juice box, out the back door of a juice box factory. And they're the blemished ones, I guess, the ones that don't make quality control or partially full or whatever. They're the garbage ones. So he's buying them out the back door of a juice box factory for pennies on the dollar, and I don't know, maybe it's 2 cents. At that point, if you took a juice box, your own in a Tetra Pak or whatever, you were getting 5 cents for it. So let's say he's paying 2 cents on these juice boxes. As people would come in and return theirs, he would slowly mix in these blemished ones with it and take the extra money and put it in his pocket. It's actually quite the hustle when you stop and think about it. So he calls, lawnmower answers the phone, and Juicebox is in a mad panic because the bottle depot police are on their way to come look at him. I guess somebody tipped them off. So who can imagine? Maybe it was a jealous lover, a Tetra Pak enthusiast, or possibly a jealous bottle depot owner. Who knows, right, with that whole community. But anyway, if the tipster's identity is that important to you, make it up if you have some creative license here for this story. So he's in a mad panic. He wants us to come down and get these things out of the way. We have no idea what we're about to get into, but whatever, right? There's a chance to do something for some money here, so off we go. So we show up at this bottle depot, and he takes us into this back part of the warehouse, and there's these 4 giant, and I mean giant bags of juice boxes sitting there. I don't know if you've ever been in the back of a bottle depot to see how it all works back there. I certainly hadn't, and I don't imagine you have either, right? But these bags, they also use them for shipping seed. They're like 5 by 5 by 5. These giant white nylon bags with like 4 loops at the top of, the corners there, the loop at the top of every corner, so you can pick it up with a forklift or a sling or whatever, right? They're massive. right? And when they're full, they're really massive. So he's got 4 of them sitting there, and get rid of them, he says. And I don't remember what he was going to pay us to get rid of these damn things. It was a few $100 or something. I don't know. But it was enough to get high for the day anyway. So yeah, okay, let's get into it, right? When we start to load these things up, it is everything we can do to get 2 of them into one truckload. And this is a 3/4 ton truck, it's not a small one. And through some creative strapping and maneuvering and messing around, we managed to get 2 of these on at a time. So we got to make two trips back to our place where we have this single car garage. Now, to unload them, we don't have a forklift anymore. 2 of us got to get in between these things and use all of our body strength, roll them off the back of the truck and into the garage, if you can imagine this, right? So, fine, we get the 2 trips done and we take our money and now we're sitting around getting high again and we got to figure out what we're going to do with these damn, these 4 giant bags of juice boxes that we have sitting in the garage. Well, I'll tell you what we did. We decided to start counting them and taking them. They're worth 5 cents each, and there's a lot of them in this thing, right? So, oh dear, we filled up garbage bag after garbage bag and counting, and at one point it got so crazy that just like the mafia in the casinos back in the day when they figured out they could just weigh the money instead of having to count it all, that's what we started doing. We'd put this milk crate on an old bathroom scale and a garbage bag inside it, and we'd fill it up until it weighed whatever the hell 100 juice boxes weigh, right? So anyway, over the course of the next month, we visit every bottle depot in the city. And our city's got about 1 million people, and there's a lot of bottle depots here. And I'm pretty sure we hit each and every single one of them with these bags of these juice boxes. And it's crazy because, a huge percentage of them were still viable. You could pass them off. Some of them were garbage, of course, right? But nobody ever took a second look. Not one of these guys sorting stinky containers all day for a living even took a second look at these damn things and said, hey, what the hell is this? Nothing. Not a word. We were showing up. We saw every single one of them 2 or 3 times in a month, right? Because there's only so many bottle depots, and we had thousands and thousands of these juice boxes. By the end of the month, I think we brought in about $4,000. My memory might be a bit off on that, but it was somewhere in that range anyway, right? It was a lot of juice boxes, and we got high for a month, right? So, it was just crazy. But yeah, so that's the juice box to UC Juiceboxes and IC Coke story, right? Now, yesterday I was tasked with finding a takeaway from my stories. If I'm going to include them in my podcast, that I should find some sort of lesson to take from it. And in this one, because Juicebox wasn't a drug addict, he's just a shady businessman or whatever, right? I think the takeaway from this is that if we could put the kind of effort into being legitimate, or into our personal relationships, or into life in general, that we put into getting high, can you imagine what the drug addicts of the world could get accomplished, right? Who would have ever thought that we'd get thousands of juice boxes and turn them into real money and manage to get high, and $4,000. We're going back more than 20 years here, folks. So it's, that was a significant amount of money. But anyway, that is the story of UC Juiceboxes and IC Crack. So it's gratitude time. Folks, I will do this in every episode. I will list off my gratitudes, and I encourage you to do the same. As a matter of fact, if you want to send them to me, please, by all means, at the end of the show here, I list off my contact information. I did a blog a year ago or so, and I encourage people to do the same. And I got to tell you, I cracked some serious tears over that. People shared some really cool stuff with me. So anyway, gratitudes for today. Number 1 is going to be my entrepreneurial spirit. It's that spirit has helped me create some successful and some not so successful businesses over the years. It's also the same spirit that made me want to be a drug dealer when I was trying to supply my habit. But it's also the same spirit that gets me starting this podcast now, and has given me a lifetime of experiences to draw on for content for the podcast here, right? So that gets the number 1 spot today. Number 2 is my little brother. We're going to call him the Dirty Hippie. Now, I say that lovingly, very lovingly. I never mean to insult him. The thing about the Dirty Hippie is he is incapable of hurting people. He truly is. He's very capable of being hurt because he's such a gentle soul. And throughout my entire life, I have not once felt judged by him, but I have always felt loved by him. So he's an easy spot on the list for today. Number 4 is you, the listeners. Anybody taking time out of their day to listen to my ramblings here. Getting my experiences out and laughing is a huge part of my recovery. It's by far one of the most therapeutic things I've ever done. And you guys taking some time out of your day to listen is pretty damn cool. So, and I really do appreciate it. Now, that said, I am trying to make a living here. So if you want to donate anything and everything, anything at all, I am not too proud to accept it. My contact info here, I'll list off right away at the end of the episode. But there's a really cool way you can help without actually donating any of your own money and actually make $20 yourself doing it. If you go to my Facebook page, Dopey Canuck, you'll see there's a link there for Koho, K-O-H-O, the online bank. It's my referral link. But anyway, with Koho, the moment you sign up and verify yourself, you get a virtual card. And with that virtual card, you can spend money. So once you spend $5 from your account, which you can do essentially right away, we both get $20 if you use my referral link, right? So if you're going to order Skip the Dishes or something tonight, set that up. Use it to pay for your thing. It's a minimum of $5. Use it to pay for your Skip the Dishes, and boom, we both get $20 tomorrow. It's a win-win. There's some cool things about Koho, but they're not my sponsor. I'm not trying to promote them so much as I am trying to get myself $20 here, right? So you may choose to use it down the road. You may choose not to, but there's no credit cards. There's no bullshit. There's no hidden nothing here. It's just a free $20 each, So, and you'd really be helping me out if you did it. So I'd appreciate it if you did. Now, the message from all of this is, I'll go back to where I was in the beginning. If you're an addict in recovery, please make today the day. You could start your lifelong journey of healing today. Reach out to somebody, friend, family member, an AA meeting, a whatever meeting, a detox, whatever you got to do. And one of the things I really like to talk about here at the end of the show is if you are the loved one of an addict, please take your time out of your day. If you had time to listen to this, you got time to send a message. Send a message to that addict. Let them know they're loved. The thing about addiction is you feel shame. You feel alone. You want to reach out to your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your friends, and you don't, because the addiction just has a way of keeping its boot on your neck, right? And it makes you feel awful for all the things you've done, and coming back gets harder and harder and harder over time. So if you can just send that message, send a message that says you are loved, you are not alone, I love you, anything, it might just be the thing that brings that person back. Thanks for listening, folks. Please share this podcast. I need to get it out there. I need to get it circulating. Have yourselves a great one.
I've been rolling with some bad dudes. I've been trying to get a bag too. I'm just doing what I have to. I said, mama, I got bad news. Bad moods every day, brand new. Tattoos on my face, sad dude. With a head full of rain, I just wanna make it rain. Mama, I will be okay. I feel like I might break right now. I feel like making a fucking mistake right now. Ew. I just need a cake right now. I blow out all the candles in my brains right now. Ew. I'm so tired of flexing. I got a minor confession, like I might die from depression. Like